Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Testimony Thursdays. I'm your host, Dr. Jazz, and today I have a very fun and vibrant guest with me, and I cannot wait to introduce her. But of course, we're going to start with our scripture. So, our scripture today is going to be from Matthew 10:20. For it is not you who will be speaking, it will be the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. That's one of my favorite scriptures. So thank you all for joining again and for listening again. Today, our guest is actually one of my friends from physical therapy school. Her name is Cassie, Dr. Cassie, excuse me. And she is just a wonderful person, y'all. So she is going to be taking us through her journey of becoming a wife, becoming a mother, and all of those good things that the Lord has blessed her with. So I cannot wait to hop into this episode. Cassie, actually, I'm going to have you introduce yourself first, and then we're going to go into the icebreaker.
Okay. All right. Hi, I am Cassie. I was Jasmine's roommate for, oh my gosh, the entire time we were in PT school. And from the moment I met her, I fell in love with her like anyone does. So it was just a wonderful, blessed journey. I'm a physical therapist like Jasmine. I work with orthopedics and pelvic floor and women's health. I'm on maternity leave. So I go back next week, which excited for and a little sad, but I've been practicing for about 5 years and just love it. I love what we do and what we can provide to people.
Wow, Cassie, there's no way it's been 5 years. Oh
I
my gosh.
know, 5 years.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. We were roommates because that's actually what's going to be the icebreaker. So I wanted to
Sorry.
talk about what was your favorite moment or moments of us being roommates?
Oh my God, Jasmine. There's literally so many, but I feel like my favorite moment with every time I think about you is when my brother was visiting and Jasmine had this beautiful, like, we had no decorations in our house, like, literally none, but we had this, like, picture that her friend drew of her, like, this canvas on our, like, fireplace, like, the only decoration. And my brother came to visit. And on the bottom of the canvas, it said devastating diva. And he like looks at it and he says to Jasmine, he said, devastating diva, is that a bad thing? And we lost it. Like we cannot get over. Every time I think of Jasmine, I think of devastating diva. Is that a bad thing? Like they're so funny.
Why did I find this picture?
Like we literally had no decorations and I love it. I love it.
Yo,
Yeah. Yeah.
what?
Literally.
Oh, that is so funny. I found this picture because my parents was making me clean up my all my storage while I'm home or
Yeah.
whatever. And I found that picture and I was dying laughing. I'm like, why would I have that picture of me? We didn't have any
We
decorations.
had no decoration. Jasmine just put it on the mantle. She's like, all right, here we go. And like we kept it up there. I was like, no, this makes sense. Like this makes absolute sense. It was so fun. Oh my God.
Like, what in the world? Yes, when your brother came, I mean, we were dying because I was trying to explain to him like what that meant. So that's why I have on my sorority shirt today too, because I was like, that's one of my favorite memories. And then the one we got so many, but
We have so many, yeah.
I know, but the one with when Josh came, Josh was her then boyfriend. Now that's her husband. He,
Yeah.
but Josh came and he was playing his video game in the morning,
Yeah.
and he was talking in his headset. So I remember I was getting ready to work because this is when I used to work at Red Lobster, y'all. And I was getting ready in the morning, and Josh was like, he was like, yeah, like, is there a gas station? And Josh came over all the time. So I was like, yeah, Josh, it's a gas station up the street. Like, when he was talking in his headset to his game. And I was like, that is so funny. Oh my God. Okay, last one, last one. The one when me, you, and Sarah, first of all, it was a winter storm, y'all. And I'm from South Carolina. Cassie's from Pennsylvania, so she knows more about snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
We went in a storm. I could not see out my car to go get wine. And we had
Yes.
the music blasting
Yeah.
loud in my car, like
Literally.
it just in a snowstorm. Like we went
Yeah.
to go get the wine and then come back, and it's like,
Oh my God. There are so many songs that I think of that like bring me back to like our kitchen. Like I think like a lot of times when I listen to Cardi B, like I think of us being in the kitchen. I don't know, there's just so many songs that make me think of you and being at like in PT school. It's crazy.
It's so wild. And even that was going to be another icebreaker. I was like, I'm either going to do that one or I'm going to do finish the lyric. And I was going to do like Cardi B songs, like Migos songs.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Yeah. We had so much fun. We had such a good time. I also remember, okay, before we like just keep yapping and yapping, my favorite is when Jasmine started watching Grey's Anatomy. And like I've watched Grey's Anatomy like, oh my God, when I was in like high school. So when she would get through like all this serious stuff like Cass, George died. I'm like, girl, I know. Like, do you remember you would just constantly watch it and you're like keeping me up to date with where you were in the seasons? It was so great.
no, because I was really grieving. Like that is so crazy. And we used to be a cadaver lab, y'all. Like, and we would be like cutting open the muscles and dissecting and everything. And somebody would tell me something about Grey's Anatomy, and I would be like, in the middle of me dissecting, I'd be like, Cass, George died? I'm like, what? I was like, Big Dreamy dies? Like, I was like so mad, but I had to stop watching it because they were doing too much.
No, I know. They really were. Like I got to them like the plane crash or even when like Derek died and I was like, I'm done. Like I just can't keep up with this.
Like, why would you kill Derek? Like, it's crazy.
Right.
Oh
Right.
my gosh. Okay. Thank you, Cass. I
Of
needed
course.
that
Yeah.
laugh. I cannot believe I still have that portrait. That's hilarious.
I know. So great. That's like the best thing ever.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I saw your brother just got married, so congrats to him. That's my guy.
Thank you.
Yes. But Cassie, tell us about everything, like motherhood, the twins. Like, I'm so proud of you. You really are a mom. Like, this is a lot.
Thank you. It's been, I was telling Jazz before we started recording, it has been the toughest journey of my life, but the most rewarding. Now, this time last year, my husband and I will be married 2 years in December this year, but last year was a year. And we're like, okay, let's start thinking about starting a family. And I work in women's health. My mom works in women's health. So the entire time last year leading up to when we were trying, I kept thinking, oh no, like what if I'm one that struggles? Because I know it's a huge issue. There's a lot of infertility issues. I'm not blind to it. So I did a lot of praying. I always pray. And thankfully, the Lord allowed us to get pregnant very quickly. We are not like most people. We did not have to try long. And, I kept praying, praying. And then when I found out I was expecting twins, I was just baffled. I was like, wait, I have no twins on my side. Josh has fraternal twins, but we have identical twins. That's the twins we have. So just rare occurrence, we weren't trying long. The Lord was like, all right, you want to be a mom? I'm going to bless you with two. And the whole journey of being pregnant really was amazing. I had some nausea in the beginning, but overall, I was very happy. I loved being pregnant. It was beautiful carrying them. There were many moments going to work. The sun was rising. I would just like look in the sun and I would just thank the Lord for carrying the beautiful girls we had. And I would constantly pray, which hindsight is 2020. I would always say, Lord, keep them safe. Please keep them safe in me, whatever you can do. And he really did like he did overall he did because the whole entire pregnancy other than me being expecting twins, I was not high risk. My blood pressure was good. I had no blood sugar issue. I wasn't overweight. It was just truly because I was carrying twins, so I was technically high risk. So fast forward to third trimester, I was starting to get into like my 30, 31 weeks. And I was like, okay, I am killing this twin pregnancy. I'm going to take it full term, blah, blah, blah. But the weekend of my baby shower, I was just not feeling good. And I started to swell a little bit. Now, rewind, I was due September 11th. And my baby shower was the middle of July. Okay. So I'm pregnant with twins. I'm 5'1". I'm very tiny. And, I started swelling and I'm like, oh, this is normal. Like this, of course. And I've told my doctors they weren't too concerned because at that point we were checking my blood pressure and it was fine. In the matter of, I swear, a week, Jazz, because I was going every 2 weeks. Something changed. I was not feeling good. Looking back, I had nausea. I was getting a lot of swelling on my right side, and I had this significant low back pain. Like, Jazz and I treat patients all the time with low back pain, and pain in general is very, very subjective, as a lot of people come to realize. So when I treat a lot of patients with a lot of high tolerance and pain, I'm like, wow, you must be in a lot of pain. So when I had this low back pain, I was like, holy moly, this is what people talk about. This is terrible. Like, I was up, I remember the one night I was getting ready for work. I was up every hour just trying to get a different position. I ended up taking a warm bath at 4 a.m. because I was just in significant pain. And so that Monday, it was July 14th. I was getting ready to go to work. I was not good. I shouldn't have been getting ready, but I was going to muster through it. I needed to save up my time for maternity leave. And fortunately, I went to the bathroom. And I say this because in my mind, in that moment, I was making lunch and I thought to myself, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll just wait to go to work. No, let me go now, because me going to the bathroom prompted me to notice that I actually had some blood, which I never had in my pregnancy. I immediately called off work. I called the labor and delivery triage. I went right into the hospital. They were checking my blood pressure. It was a little elevated, nothing crazy. My back was killing me, so we thought it was a little bit of pain. They took my blood just to make sure. Thank the Lord they did, because when they came back, I remember the one nurse, she came in with an IV pole, which should have prompted me that something was wrong because I thought I was going home. She said, hey, your lab work came back a little funny. And I was like, funny? What do you mean by funny? And then I had the whole labor and delivery team come in. And the doctor said to me, do you know what preeclampsia is? And I was like, yeah, I know what preeclampsia is. Of course I do. Do I have that? How do I have that? I was working out, eating right. Other than being pregnant with twins, I thought I was relatively healthy. And then she said, well, do you know what the HELLP syndrome is? Which I don't know. Are you familiar with the HELLP syndrome, Jazz, at all?
No,
Okay.
no.
So it's like a very severe form of preeclampsia that your liver enzymes, from the way I've read about it, the placenta is the problem. It tells your body to produce more red blood cells. I believe so. If anyone is like a medical doctor and listening to this, I'm so sorry. I could be totally wrong. But either way, tricks your brain and body to making more red blood cells. Your platelet count goes down significantly and your liver enzymes shoot on up. So it's a very critical pregnancy complication. Could have, if I would have waited longer, could have been very fatal to the babies and myself. Nonetheless, yeah. So I went in for an emergency C-section. My babies were born at 31 weeks and 4 days. So we almost made it to 32 weeks, which is really good for a lot of twin pregnancies. They immediately went into the NICU. They were in the NICU for 5.5 weeks. And like I said, when I would just drive to work praying to the Lord to keep us safe and them safe, he really did. Because all the symptoms I had leading up to the emergency C-section was the Lord truly being like, Cassie, this is it. The girls need to come. This is not safe for you. This is not safe for them. And there were a lot of moments after the delivery of them when I was in the NICU, just kind of grieving with the loss of the delivery I thought I was going to have, where I just blamed myself for not being able to keep them in as long as I could. But there were so many moments of pure bliss of the nurses and the staff of the NICU saying, you did a fantastic job carrying them. They are perfect. They didn't have to be on ventilation. They did CPAP for about 6 days and then they were off it. Both girls went home at the same time. They went home at 37 weeks. They didn't even have to be in the NICU till their due date, which is a lot of times what they tell you. And then since being home, they've been home since the end of August. Yeah. And it's almost December. They're almost 5 months and 2 weeks. They are thriving. They are both on the term chart. They're they are just doing fantastic. So it has been a tough journey from the start of the delivery till now. I dealt with a lot of uh, postpartum like depression, anxiety, definitely some PTSD from the delivery, but it's been really great and it's really tested my faith for sure. But not in a bad way, just more so nights of constantly going to the Lord and praying, I know this is hard in the moment, but please help me. Please help me in these chaotic moments. And he really does. He has moments of shining through with peace. Of last night, I was holding one of my babies and she just fell asleep on my shoulder. And I thought to myself, it was the first time I realized they won't always need me, but I will always need them. So it's like he really does like shine through in the most beautiful ways because there are many moments where I am like sleep deprived, crying, this is hard, there's two, all sorts of issues. And then I have moments of pure bliss like that where they look at you, smile, fall asleep, or fall asleep on you. And I'm like, this is it. This is what I've been praying for. Yeah.
Cassie, thank you so much for sharing that. Like, I feel like I am about to cry. I don't have any tissue beside me. Oh my god, like that is what it's all about. That's what these stories are about. That's why we have these testimonies. And yes, God did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Mhm.
And like I told you, like God's favor is what your life looks like, you know? And I'm so blessed that you can talk about it. I'm so happy that you were obedient to listening to the Lord and going to the bathroom and you have
Mhm.
a system, medical system to help support you.
Mhm.
And yes, I mean, I am just blown away because, like how you said, you know, with twin pregnancies, it's rare for them to make it to that point in utero. So,
Mhm.
or you know, having the emergency C-section or any type of like labor and delivery. So I'm just so proud of you, and the girls they are so cute, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like oh, every time you post them, I'm like these are the cutest girls. Like I have the baby fever real bad, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for sharing that. And I do have a silly question. I don't
Yeah.
even know if twin moms like this question, but your twins are identical.
Yes.
And when I look at them, I'm like, oh, I don't know which one's which.
Yeah. So I was actually looking up on Chat GTP the other night, like just random twin facts just to see if mine are true. And my one baby Grace, she's baby A. So they name, which I didn't realize this until I was pregnant with twins. They like name baby A and baby B by like the position of where they are um in your uterus, like near the cervix. So she's baby A, born first. She's tinier. So if you ever see my picture, she's just a little bit tinier, but her face is like pear shaped. It's up this way. And then baby B is Isla. She was born second. She's a little bigger and she has more of like the peach shape. So it's like fuller cheeks, which is a true fact as well. And then another cool fact, which I've noticed, is some twins are like mirror. So whatever you see on one side of the twin, the way the eggs split, it's on the other side of the other twins, which is true because Grace, baby A, she has like some pigmentation over her right eyelid, just a little bit. And then Isla has the same over her left eyelid. It's so bizarre. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that too, because I'm like, how do I know which baby is which? Like, I
It's
it's hard. I still struggle with like with twins that are like in their 20s. I'm like, okay, which one of y'all
I know.
like
I
wow. Well, thank you. Thank you so
know.
much. And okay, with you working as being a physical therapist, working with like women's health,
Mhm.
do you think that helped you through your journey, your pregnancy journey?
Absolutely. I've always had such a fond appreciation for women in general, and especially like mothers. Like a part of my pelvic floor and women's health journey, I've loved the pregnancy population. I love it. Like I just think what we can do as women and becoming mothers is just amazing. It truly is amazing. And becoming a mother and going through pregnancy, it has opened my eyes to what our bodies are really capable of. And my classes and my experience really did help me during pregnancy because I knew it was important to keep up with daily activity. Now I wasn't lifting super heavy, but I was doing resistance training. I was walking, I was watching what I was eating in terms of, I knew I know of the complications like preeclampsia, blood sugar, making sure that was all in check, drinking a lot of water, just a lot of the stuff that I've learned and I've been able to try and educate patients on. I did that with myself. And then also like pain, like I know what the body does during pregnancy to change to accommodate a growing baby, or in my case, two babies. So of course, it's just like the classic, like remember in PT school, looking at the plumb line, like looking at your posture, like truly like knowing how my body was changing physically and my posture, how that was affecting me with pain and just musculoskeletal issues. So it really did help me. And I was able to guide myself into doing certain exercises and routines that I was teaching women before. And then I also, a lot of people don't realize in the pelvic floor and women's health aspect for PT, we do a lot of training with just like birthing. So like breathing techniques, diaphragmatic breathing, engaging your deep core, knowing how to properly engage that. So when I am postpartum, which is now, being able to properly get that deep core engagement back. So I did a lot of that. It was a lot of like preparatory stuff for postpartum, but then also working on things that were in the moment, like, oh, my back's hurting, or oh my gosh, my rib is bothering me. Let me do some side lying breathing, that kind of stuff.
Well, wow. Yes, that definitely prepared you for
Yeah.
everything that you went through. So I'm glad you transitioned into women's health. And like before you were kind of going that route, did you know that you were trying to be a mother at that time? Or were you kind of like, "Okay, I want to switch over and then I want to try?"
Yes, that the latter. So I always had an interest in pelvic floor and women's health. I think it's very, in general, the medical field, I do think women's health is not as utilized as it should be. There's so many women, side note, going through menopause that we just, oh, you're going through menopause. Yeah, you're going to have this pain or you're going to have this dryness. They just chalk it up to that. Like talking to my mom and my aunt who are have been through menopause. It's just, there's a lot that we can do as PTs and in the medical field to help with women's health because we do go through a lot. So I knew I wanted to be a mom always, but when I was going through my training, it's not like I was trying to be a mom in the moment of when I was going through my training. I've always been career focused, which is a part of what I think the Lord is trying to teach me as being a mom, to be in the moment of being a mother, and he's teaching me to be calmer and in the moment because I'm very fast paced and type A. But when I was training, I was very career focused of, okay, let's do pelvic floor, let's do women's health, let me get this figured out, and then I can be a mom. So I hope that answered your question. I think it did.
Yes, 100%. Thank you so much. Can you walk us through how the girls got their early intervention screening or evaluation?
Yeah.
Like when they were in the NICU, did they already pair you with an EI, or how did that go?
Yeah. So, awesome thing about the girls having a mom as their PT, a mom PT, is I actually pushed for early intervention. They did not qualify in the NICU in terms of everything they were seeing for, like, they were getting PTOT speech. All of them are like, they're fine. And I'm like, no, they were born early. I know they can be a little slower in developing compared to babies that were born at their age. So I pushed for early intervention, and thank the Lord they didn't qualify. Like they came to the house, they tested them, and they were like, yeah, they're doing great. They're doing everything they need to be doing. There was no issue. And we're doing a tracking program because I didn't want to completely not have them looked at. So every like 2 to 3 months, I believe, they send me a paper and I'm like, oh, yep, they're showing signs of rolling. Yep, they can lift their head up. Yep, they're finding hands to mouth. And again, being a mom, being a physical therapy mom, the physical therapist mom, it's easy for me to be like, yeah, you should start to try to roll right now, or let's do tummy time because you need to work on your neck control. So it's like a good and bad thing.
No, it's definitely all a good thing. And the
Yeah.
thing about it, Cassie, even with you saying that, and even with you like talking about pain and how we can, differentiate between when this is like a red flag
Hmm.
or like when when to refer. And even, with ourselves in our own body. I am just kind of not just realizing, but I feel like now it's becoming more like prominent to me that people that don't work in healthcare really don't know a lot about the human body.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's wild. Like for us, it's like, okay, like if I'm having some type of pain, like I'm like, okay, what type of pain is it? Like even if I ask my patient to say, I'm like, what type of pain are you having? And they're like, what? And I'm like, is it aching? Is it sharp? Is it shooting? Does it happen at night? Like what is going on? And people they don't even know to ask themselves that question.
Right.
And especially with babies too. Like, I love working in pediatrics. Early intervention is my favorite thing
Mm.
ever. But even with that, with parents, when people are becoming like new parents, they don't know which milestones their child is going to eventually reach and how they're going to reach those milestones. They don't know much about rolling and if it's like segmental rolling, head control,
Right.
all type of baby containers that be putting their babies in, all type of stuff. And it's like, wow,
Yep.
it really is a privilege for us to know those different things and just being able to advocate for ourselves in the healthcare industry, just like how you had to do with saying, hey, like, no, I want them to get early intervention. I understand what you're saying, but there's another route they can go. They can be on a tracking program. Like, don't just, try to dismiss it.
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for advocating for yourself and for the
Yeah. I actually think it's really wonderful the way you worded that, saying for us, me and you, with our education, it is a privilege, us knowing what to look for and what to look out for, because I just think there's so much we can change in healthcare with giving our patients and just, the general Joe Schmo on the street, like education so they can know what to advocate for and what to look for. And like you said, like we know what to look for, but not everyone. So I try to do a lot of education with my patients because they need to know it's their body. Like they deserve to know. They have the answers. They're telling me what's going on. I'm the one that has to figure out what's going on, where's this happening, and just try to educate them to advocate for themselves. So I love the way you worded that, because for us it is a privilege, us knowing what's wrong, what's right, and all of that.
Yes. And then what do you have any like advice that you would have given to your like a medical team or anybody that you came in like you encounter in the hospital on just, how to be maybe a better medical provider? Or did you learn something that you can take to your patients and say, wow, like I didn't think about this. Let me make sure to address it for the next time.
I delivered at Penn State Hospital because I live in Pennsylvania. Jasmine, I say this in all honesty, I had the best team. I had the best labor and delivery. I had the best NICU department. I don't have any critique for any of them. They saved my life. They were wonderful to my babies. I had this one nurse. I don't, if she listens to this podcast, that'd be amazing. But I was on the OR table because I was under general anesthesia. No one could come into the OR with me because I was that bad. They were getting me hooked up to go under to deliver my babies that, mind you, I didn't see for 24 hours because I was hooked up to a mag drip because of my blood pressure. They didn't want me to get seizures. Whole other story. But I was laying there crying my eyes out. I literally said to the one doctor, if anyone is religious in here, please, please pray for me. Because I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to die? Or my baby's going to die? I didn't know. I had this one nurse. She held my hand the entire time. Jazz, she looked at me. She held my hand. I was bawling and she's like, I am here for you. I am here for you. And so nothing I would say I would want my medical team to do different because they did everything I needed and more. And that in that moment, that made me think I need to do that for my patients. Now I'm not going to ever, knock on wood, be in dire situations with patients, but being that helping hand in whatever way. And that's if a patient is talking to me, really listening and taking what they're saying and not just writing them off. And if that's like a good example. But yeah, nothing, I would change nothing of my medical treatment in the girls. Everyone was just fantastic.
Gosh, Cassie, that's a blessing. That's such a blessing. Like, I have chills right now. Like, thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you to that nurse. Like, oh, thank you to God. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing because, everyone doesn't have that same experience. But yeah, I'm like you. Like when I hear all these testimonies, that's why I'm so thankful for this podcast because every time I do an episode, it always like inspires me to do better. And I feel like with me and you cats, like we can be like a little harder on ourselves when it comes to like patient treatment and stuff. It's like, girl, y'all are doing fine. Like stop.
Yeah,
But it makes me want to be better and make sure that I'm listening like to everything that my patient is saying and is not trying to just like write them off and be like, oh, okay. But
right.
yeah, so thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
we are going to wrap up shortly, but we're going to do three more things.
Okay.
Anything else you want to share regarding your motherhood or pregnancy or anything else that you can think of that you're like, somebody needs to hear this?
Yeah, I would say listen to your body if you know if something is wrong. And then also the biggest thing that has also been a very hard in this postpartum journey is going through the hormonal change. So for women that Jazz can attest to this. I have always been a very bubbly, outgoing, positive person. Postpartum has been really tough on me. I had to go on medication. I knew I needed it. I truly was like, I am not okay. So just seeking help when you need it. It's okay to not be okay during postpartum. It's okay to have moments of feeling like, wow, I'm really sad. I love my babies. I would do anything for them, but I can't stop crying. Or I have anxiety like out the wazoo and I can't figure this out. So just knowing that it's okay to not be okay, even when you are in the midst of something you've prayed for. Because I had many moments of feeling really guilty, thinking, but Lord, I prayed for this. There are so many women that would want to be in my shoes. And why am I feeling like this? But knowing that I'm also trying to heal physically, mentally, emotionally. And it's okay to not be okay, but also still love the journey you're going on.
Cassie, you are my co-host now. So congratulations.
I love
Cassie,
you. Let's do it.
literally what? It's okay to not be okay once you get the things you pray for. Like, oh my, that's a word. That's definitely a word. So
Thank you.
thank you for sharing that with
Uh,
me. That was awesome. I'm gonna have to meditate on that all day.
thank
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, two more things. Now that you go, I did want to share another story that I was thinking of. So
Yes.
y'all. So like Cassie, okay, I'm so Cassie and Josh, right? These are my people, these are my friends. They got married and
Hmm.
on their honeymoon,
Hmm. Yep.
they came to Hawaii, right? And they came to the big island.
Yeah.
And I live in Oahu, so I had to fly over to go see them. Mind you, y'all, they are on their honeymoon, and I still went to
No,
I'm
but like, you're
not
not
dealing with
I
that.
reached out to you. I was like, Jasmine, I'm in Hawaii. Like, let's see each other.
That is so funny. So I went to go see them, and I thought it would be a great idea if we go swimming with the manta rays. So I was like, "This gonna be a great like honeymoon gift. Like we're gonna go swimming with the manta rays." If you know me, you know I can barely swim. I can barely swim. So why would I think that was a good idea? So before I even no, I think at this time I was living in Maui. Actually, I was living in Maui, and I went and got like this, the little swimsuits things, and I had my little floaty, and we went to the place, and the water was like this, y'all. Like the water was doing too much.
Yeah.
So people were like, yeah, we can't go out because it's too choppy. But I was kind of offended because they looked at me and they were like, yeah, you definitely don't need to go out. Like, if you look like you can barely swim, you got on the suit, you have a floaty. Like, if you cannot swim 5 feet in this wavy water, you
Oh,
don't need to go out there.
that
So,
is
yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys because
I
I
totally
said, honeymoon.
forgot about that. That was so funny. And when we met up with Jasmine, my husband, we love Jazz. She is just amazing. But I remember she was walking down the street and Josh was like, there she is, there she is, there's Jasmine. And we were just like, oh my God, it's Jasmine. Because at that point we haven't seen each other in years. And it was like we didn't see each other for like a day or two. It was just right back to where we were. It was amazing.
I am so blessed with the connections and like the friendships that I made throughout
Yeah.
school. It's just throughout life. So I had to share. We have so many funny stories.
We
But
were
yes, yes. Thank you to you and Josh. Y'all are awesome. Your family too.
yeah,
Like even your dad. Like your dad, like he would watch my stories and stuff. I'm like, look at my
like,
dad.
they love you. Love Jasmine. Like they just yeah. And well, I remember the one time we were I was coming back from studying, and I don't know if it was like your uncle or someone was visiting. And I remember I like pulled up next, and your uncle's like, "Do you want to come to dinner with us?" And I was like, "Oh my God." But I had to study. I was like, "No, I have to study." But thank you. Like, just amazing.
Yes, yes, that was my uncle. That's and my auntie. I believe my auntie Linda. She watches my podcast faithfully, so I know she's gonna see this.
I love it.
But thank you so much, Cassie. How we end every episode, we talk about a testimony that we went through that led to, a test that we went through that led to a testimony, or something that we're currently going through that's going to lead to a testimony. And you shared so much with us. But if you have any other testimonies you want to share, you go at it. Yep, that was about it. Yeah.
Just trying to heal, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, thank you, Cass. This was awesome. You are wonderful. You are such a good person, such a great mother, and
So are you, Jazz. If you ever need me for another podcast for anything, I would love to do this. I love just getting the word out there in any aspect. Like whatever you want to talk about, if I can share any sort of advice, whatever. It's amazing what you're doing in all regards. You're just an amazing person. I knew it from the first time I met you. I literally last thing when Jasmine was going through our first year with the issues of getting kicked out of PT school, I remember telling Jasmine and even my parents, I was like, Jasmine's meant to be a physical therapist. Like, this is not going to stop her. There are people in this world that they are a part of a journey because you are meant to be a PT is what I'm trying to say. Like you are just an amazing person. You were meant to be doing what you're doing. And I knew from the moment I met you. So it's amazing what you're doing.
thank you so much, Kat. It's all God. It really is.
Always.
And
Yep.
I just appreciate you so much. And I'm just so thankful to just be going through this life journey with you and seeing you hit all type of different milestones. So thank you
Yep.
for sharing. And yes,
Absolutely.
I will ask you if I need you to do another episode or a panel or anything. So thank you so much.
Cheers.
So thank you everyone for listening to another episode of Testimony Thursdays. Follow me on Instagram at Testimony Thursdays, TikTok Testimony Thursdays, and of course, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all again next week.